going on, guys? Welcome back to the Broad Street Boys, and today is our Phillies off-season prediction special. This is going to be a long episode. We're going to talk about Phillies off-season. We're going to talk about all of the MLB's off-season predictions and just the landscape of the MLB. This will probably be our last MLB episode for a minute. Caleb Hawk, you are back with us today, Mr. Phillies
Yes,
expert.
I am.
Thank God we're not talking about the Eagles because this video would get demonetized because no one wants to talk about the Eagles. I can tell you that for a fact. But here we are.
They're still 8-3.
Fired Kevin Patullo. That's my last Eagles comment. So now today, Caleb and I have broken our Phillies only list up into two sections. We have one that we like ideas of what we think Dave Dombrowski will actually do, and then the other one is what we want Dave Dombrowski to like what we want him to do. So think versus want. Caleb, I'm going to throw it to you first, but I would love to hear your general idea of how you think the Phillies offseason is going to go, and then go into your list, and then I'll respond, and then we'll have some convo. It'll be good. All right, you first. Go ahead.
So a lot of this is knowing how Dombrowski operates, what I've read on Twitter, and what I've seen elsewhere. So I think that they resign JT to a 2-year deal worth around $30 million, because I saw the other day that he's open to taking a 2-year deal after initially saying that he wanted at least 3 years. So I think that they're going to bring him back just because they don't have a replacement for him. I don't think they want to go sign another catcher that's out there. And I don't think they want to give up a couple of prospects or other players for a young catcher. And also, it makes perfect sense because he's really good at managing a bullpen. The starting pitch, all the pitchers trust him and love him. So I don't really see them walking away from JT yet.
Agreed.
After JT, I have Kyle Schwarber coming back to Philly. I don't see Schwarber walking away. I don't see the Phillies letting him go that easily. So I'm going to say 5 years, $140 million. It might be a little bit of an overpay, but everything that I am seeing is that he will have probably the second highest contract next to Kyle Tucker. After Schwarber, I think they keep Bohm to the deadline. I think he is stuck in, as much as I hate it, I think he's stuck in Philly until Aiden Miller is not only ready, but also comfortable at third base. I know there are some people who would rather them just play Otto Kemp at third base until Miller is ready, but I don't see them doing that. After that, I have him re-signing Harrison Bader to a 2-year deal around $35 million.
Okay.
He did play out of his mind, so there might be a little bit of an overpay there. The injury that he had at the end of the season scares me a little bit, just because I don't want another outfielder who's going to be injured and miss a good chunk of the season. If he goes down, then we're going to be looking at an outfield of Brandon Marsh, Justin Crawford, plus probably another dude who's only played. Probably Johan Rojas.
Sure.
I would rather not that happen, but I think they'll bring back Bader. As I just said, I think they will bring up Justin Crawford, and I think Gabriel Martinez Jr. will be right there with him starting as a bench role, but I would not be surprised if he overtakes an outfield corner spot. I think Crawford will end up in center field. Brancona's bat and raw power, I think it will impress a lot of people, impress the coaches. Or maybe even if Kyle does not come back, maybe he's the opening day DH. Maybe.
Yeah.
The next 3 guys are kind of 1-year prove-it deals. So I have Philly sign Adolis Garcia, 1 year, 12 to 13 mil. Just kind of be okay, we know what you're capable of. Your ceiling is MVP caliber player. Your floor is average outfielder. And the reason why I like him so much in Philly is Philly's one of the smaller ballparks versus the Globe Life Field, which is massive. I watched him play around the deadline last year when I thought the Phillies might be going after him. and he was smashing balls left and right. But because of how big that ballpark is, a lot of the balls were either fly outs to deep center field or off the wall in left field. So I think putting him in a place like Citizens Bank Park, where he could literally just flick bat at the ball, it's going to go. Like, I
Hit the
think he would
barrel.
be a really good fit. Yep, I think he would be a really good fit in Philly. And also, like, if it doesn't work out, I am sure that there will be teams that would trade a little bit for him to be a DH just because of how powerful he is. Signed Christopher Morel to a minor league deal because he is a guy who, again, he is young, can play the outfield and third base, so he could be a bench guy. He has a lot to work on, and I'm hoping that Kevin Long might be able to fix him because remember when he was with the Cubs, he was never an all-star caliber player, but there is potential there, and I
He was
think
electric on the Cubs too. I don't know
he
about you. He
he was
brought some
awesome.
energy, which I like.
Yeah, like he has the energy, which I love, and I think that with the right coaches, they could develop him to be a solid everyday player. I don't know if you'll like this one, but I have Lucas Giolito to a 1-year prove-it deal, similar to what we did to Spencer Turnbull a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't hate it. If like I like it definitely isn't crazy because they've done it before. Like
mhm,
even with like Jeff Hoffman, like they definitely gave him like nothing, and then all of a sudden he was good. And same thing with Turnbull. Turnbull was nothing, but before he got here, like he had that one no hitter in
mhm.
Detroit, and then had nothing else. And then he came here, proved a deal, and then he was actually pretty good.
He was great.
Yeah, I didn't hate that. Do you have anything else?
Two more. So I know you think that this guy might be re-signed with the team, and we
Yeah,
want to trade for him. But I have us signing Pete Fairbanks before Tampa Bay can re-sign him to a 2-year
please.
deal around 20 mil, and Sir Anthony Dominguez for a 1-year around 10 mil deal.
Listen, I honestly love that list. If I'm gonna be totally real with you, like I definitely like it. I'm just a little worried that we're not gonna do all of that because you could probably back me up. Dave Dombrowski is one to make not really volume of moves, but like just like the big moves, if that makes sense. If he does anything,
Mm-hmm.
um, but at the same time, I could definitely see a lot. Like I actually like all the one year deal type of things. Like it's very much like proven, especially Adolis Garcia. Like I think Adolis Garcia. Obviously, this isn't the right terminology, but he kind of got bought out of Texas, and they were kind of like you're kind of washed. And even though you won us a championship, like you're gonna need to play better. So a 1 year prove it deal, I think makes perfect sense, especially if you kind of just stick him in the outfield. And hey, it's no secret that the Phillies don't really care about defense. So you would definitely fit in here, and plus he has a rocket of an arm. So
Yeah,
just sticking him into right field is already an upgrade compared to like Nick Castellanos.
and they need. I think this is going to be one of their biggest needs, and I really hope they address it. A
Yeah,
right-handed, like a true right-handed power bat, because
I
like
agree.
right now the only power hitter we really have is Harper
Yeah,
from the
and
right.
Schwarber. Yes.
Well, I mean, if we bring back Schwarber,
Yeah, yeah, true,
yeah,
true.
and then from the right side, there's not much. There's
Yeah,
Bohm who could swat 20 home runs. There's Turner who is more of a
yeah,
gapper, steal
sure.
bases type of player.
Yeah,
Like
I'm trying to
there's
think if there's no, because
there,
you are right. Because I mean, I feel like we've been on record of saying this, but Alec Bohm is a certified slap hitter.
mhm.
So sticking him in at fourth is just asking for a double play after a double play. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like your whole list, and I also think your thought process behind Bohm just makes sense because I could totally see him like just like being here until like the trade deadline, and then eventually we'll trade him. But like, yeah, I mean, would you mind if I did my list? Because I feel like I can explain
Go ahead.
more. Yeah, I feel like I could explain more if I did my list too. So this is again this is my what I think Dave Dombrowski will do, not what I like think he should do. So what I think Caleb and I actually talked before this, and I'm not even gonna lie, we had almost the exact same Kyle Schwarber deal. I had 5 years for 140 million, and like that, I just find it funny that we had the exact same thing. I could also see them paying more like 160, but it's such a weird situation because I could also see Schwarber like taking like like almost like a hometown discount and doing 5 years for 100, because that is honestly possible with other people. But at the same time, with his specific market, I don't know. That's what I think. But 5 years, 140. I think we can both agree it'll be in that ballpark or more.
Yep.
I also agree with JT. 2 years, 22 million. That's what I have with him. Like you said, I actually do like JT. You talked to me 2 years ago, and I didn't love JT because I thought he was inconsistent. But last year he kind of brought it back. Would you agree? Like he kind of brought his spark back. So, and plus, I love the point you made with he's honestly like a field general as a catcher too. Obviously, his pop time has gone down, but he still calls a great game. I think he's super knowledgeable about baseball just in general. Just the way he talks, like I'm like, okay, this guy is a ball knower. But so definitely bringing back those two guys. Or at least I think they're going to try to. The other one, I'm going to go on a different approach and say that they're trying to trade Bohm, and I think they're going to trade Bohm and someone within like the teens, prospect wise, like Brian Rincon, who's the 17th ranked. So like I think anywhere in between 20th and 25th prospect. I think they're going to trade them for someone like Andrew Kittredge, or like
I would
I
love
also
that.
have right, and Brandon Birdsell is another name. You guys might not know who that is, but I did some research. He's a 25-year-old AAA player, and you might be like, wow, that's a long time in AAA. But last year he had a 2.9 ERA in AAA, and I feel like could honestly make an impact within the bullpen. And plus, it's definitely not a secret that the Phillies always need some bullpen help. And I feel like someone goes down, or I don't know, somebody takes PEDs. I don't know, just a hypothetical.
Someone takes Ozempic mid off
I don't.
season.
Hey, again, just a hypothetical. Not saying it actually happened, but it obviously. But a little bit of like I actually don't think weirdly like that's like a huge point of emphasis like this off season. But at the same time, to get at something for Alec Bohm, I think is good. And the last thing I'll say about Bohm for now is that I'm only saying that we're trading him because I feel like for the past like year and a half, they've been trying to get rid of Bohm. Like ever since his meltdown against the Mets and leading up to the Mets, I feel like David Dombrowski has been like, okay, let's get rid of this guy. But I feel like I think you've kind of mentioned this in past podcasts before, Caleb. But I feel like their asking price for Bohm is way higher than it actually should be, which is why he's still on this team.
I think that's because I know last offseason we tried because we were trying
Yes,
to do Bohm for Mason Miller straight up.
yes,
The A's laughed at us, said no.
dude, that was all. That was one of the most atrocious trade offers like ever.
It was terrible. And I think coming off of this past season, you get to look at Bohm for the type of player he is. He is a contact slap hitter guy
Yep,
who has the flexibility to play third base and first base. Will
yep,
drive in 100, like around 100 runs. So
yeah,
like there definitely is value there, but bring it down a little bit. Like I still think we could flip him 1-for-1 with like a solid player.
yeah.
It won't be that all-star level Mason Miller that they were trying to get.
I agree, and I think you didn't you say for Joe Adele possibly, or I think a
Yeah,
player
Joe.
of that caliber makes perfect sense, like a 25 or 26-year-old that isn't doing well but is kind of trending up, and Alec Bohm is in the same kind of category. But I think Alec Bohm, would you agree, is probably a better player currently than Joe Adele? Maybe.
Yeah, like I think they're in the same tier list of players, and
Yes.
I'll get to more of that in my want
Yes.
list. But it's also like the Angels need a third baseman
Totally.
because
And
they have Rendon who will probably not play much of the season. I think they signed Yoan Moncada for last year to fill in third. I forget if they found some because I know they have Zach Neto at short, and they have another
just
young guy at second
they have
base.
the Angels are just a in totality a random team because they also had Gio Urshela last year, I think, and that was
Yeah,
like their other random third baseman. But Yeah, but now Urshela and Moncada are both free agents, which is why I think they're gonna try to go to look for any type of infield. But yeah, so anything like that, like with like Kittredge, Joe Adele, any type of prospect. I do think the last thing I'll say, but I think Alabama will be paired with a prospect, probably not a,
Me too.
not a top 15, not a top 15, but like, would you agree from like 30 to like 17?
Yeah.
Something. Okay, my next thing is I think we're trading away Nick Castellanos. I could see it for cash. I could see it for nothing. I could see it for just to get off of his contract. But I could see them trying to go after somebody. Okay, trying. But I also like I don't know if Dave is a little slow, but like again, I feel like he's going to ask for too much for Castellanos. I think he actually already has, and teams are just rejecting him immediately, which isn't great. But he'll learn. But I think Cassie is gone, which kind of, I mean, like I'm a Castellanos guy. Like I like the fire he kind of brings, if that makes sense.
Swag,
The swag,
style.
the fire. I think he's a pretty good guy in the locker room, but obviously he doesn't like Rob Thompson. He doesn't like the way Rob Thompson platoons, which is not a great recipe for success as a ball.
No,
Okay.
no.
Next, I think they're gonna resign some sort of, or not resign. I mean, sign some sort of random like third baseman. So I have like Gio Urshela here, because then I think that kind of gives you a little more flexibility than just Edmundo Sosa.
You don't
Urshela can
think
also
they
do
roll
the
out?
outfield.
You don't think they roll out auto count?
They could. I think
Because
I think they're gonna. I think they're really gonna try to move Otto to the outfield and give a little platoon for Justin Crawford, which is where I was going. I think they're definitely bringing up Crawford, and I think he'll definitely be a corner outfielder guy. Um, and then I think it'll be the corner outfields of, I guess, Justin Crawford and someone else. But yeah, and I also like your idea. I'm stealing your idea of Joe Adele. I think you go after Joe Adele as well, because again, the Angels, similar to Adolis Garcia, the Angels' fences are long and far. And I feel like in a weird right field like in Philly, where it's a little shorter, I feel like he would eat here. And plus, Joe
well,
Adele's 26, so that also.
he's young. He feels the need of a much for the past couple of seasons. That
Yes,
much that much needed right-handed power guy
yes,
who were like he can swat home runs.
totally.
Defensively, he kind of fits the Phillies scheme as decent defenders, not great.
Yeah,
Um, he can swipe bags.
I
Like
like
he could hit behind Harper and probably like I think people would fear him more rather than Bohm.
him both.
Just 'cause, like
Yes,
he can fucking send the ball, dude.
I totally agree.
Like he has so much power.
And I feel like the point I keep coming back to with Joe Adele is he was a top 10 prospect at one time for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a reason why he was that highly like drafted and highly like regarded by all these scouts, because he's legit. That's the honest answer. It's because he's legit, and the intangibles are there. He's also a huge human. I don't know if you've seen. He
Dude,
has
he's massive.
huge
He is
biceps.
massive. He is scary.
He is just scary, and that's something that I feel like can turn into something, especially if you're 25 or 26. Like,
And another thing with the players like Joe Adele's and Luis Robert's is if you put them in Philadelphia's lineup, they will be pitched to, not
yeah,
around. So they will see more balls in the zone, which I
totally.
think if you're like Los Angeles Angels, Adele was middle of the order type bat. So he
Yeah,
really had no one hitting behind him. So those stats with not having anyone behind you really, like I think he would thrive in Philly.
I totally agree, and it would be a little different than being the only guy in your lineup too, because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
listen, Mike Trout, legend, doesn't really play a whole lot. And there you go. And again, Anthony Rendon was good at a time, but hasn't really played baseball for the past 6 years. So uh, I feel like I totally agree. You put him in a better scenario. I think he exceeds. And plus, I also keep forgetting that their coach just got relieved, like Ron Washington, because of medical issues. Did he not? And then he also left the team for a while because of the medical issues. So I feel like with a real head coach and like a real hitting coach, like that should be something to think about. But yeah, so that was probably, to everybody watching, the most tame ideas that we have, because that's what we think is going to happen. because you would agree, Caleb, that Dave Dombrowski is not typically one to go absolutely crazy. But I think you should lead with our what we want him to do. What do you want Dave Dombrowski to do? Slash,
Dude,
give me if you were Dave Dombrowski, what are you?
my
Your
chair
chair is breaking.
is not, dude. It's not supporting my weight anymore.
Oh, getting big, huh?
It's making me feel fat.
You're
Not
getting
even
big,
fat. Okay, so my want is a little bit of a fantasy list.
and that's okay. That's the point. That's the point. Let's have fun.
I do think that there is definitely a possibility that some of these could happen, because there's a lot more trading going on here. So
I agree.
start off, obviously, bring back Kyle Schwarber. I want a 4-year deal around 120 mil, because I don't want to give more than 4 years for a guy who's just going to be a DH.
Yeah,
And with also, there's a chance in those last 2 seasons, his power goes down, bat speed goes down, and he just cannot produce the same way.
I
So if
agree.
he's not going to take a 4-year deal, I am letting him walk and trying to go after Kyle Tucker, because we need an outfielder badly. So if it's not Schwarber, then it's Kyle Tucker, and I'm giving him a 7 or 8-year deal around 380 mil.
Yes. Immediately, yes. Go. Keep going. Immediately, yes.
This one, I've seen a lot of stuff. People either love it or hate it, but I think it gives the Phillies a ton of flexibility. Signing Alex Bregman to a 4-year deal around 140 mil. And the reason why I love this so much is because he can play third base, he can play shortstop, he can play second base, he can play
Yeah.
most of the infield, he can replace Bohm, which will allow us to trade him.
Yep.
And if Aiden Miller is ready and Bryson Stott sucking, we can move Bregman to second base, or we can move Miller to second base. And there's a lot of flexibility there.
I would agree.
If he sucks, it allows us to trade Stott. Because I know last
Yeah.
year he was hot and cold. Like he had flashes where he was a 300 hitter, and then there were flashes where he could not put the ball in play.
Yeah.
So if that's a struggle, put Miller at second, leave Bregman at third, and your infield is set for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Sure.
After that, with Bohm being off the active roster or not being the starting lineup, you trade for a catcher, either in Adley Rutschman, Carter Jensen, who was a young guy out of Kansas City, or I'm kind of big on this guy. He is very young, started off the year really hot, fell off a little bit. Plus, I don't know how good his defense is, but Augustin Ramirez from the Marlins, I think would
Ooh.
be a really good guy because he's
I like.
24, right-handed.
Yes.
He had 21 home runs,
Didn't
70
didn't he
RBIs.
kill the Phillies? Didn't he kill the Phillies
He
when
did.
we went against
He
him? He
did kill us
destroyed.
when we played him.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm thinking of Okay. Keep going. Sorry. I
Yep.
just needed to clarify.
So if we're trading for Rutschman, we give up Bohm, Matt Strahm, and maybe another top 15 prospect in there, because the Orioles will need a first baseman. They need a
Yep.
lot of bullpen help, and I think Strahm is good. He did have struggles, but I think change of scenery will help him. And I also think that from Rutschman's perspective, maybe starting over in a new place will help him a lot, because his 2023, he was great. 24, he was okay. 5, he sucked when he played. I mean, I know he was hurt and playing through injuries, but it wasn't a great year. And then
I
even at
agree.
the end of his minor league rehab, like he seemed off.
Yeah.
So yes, giving up Bohm and Strom in some ways could be a little bit of an overpay, but I think that the ceiling there is really beneficial. He's a young catcher too, and he can grow into be the next JT Realmuto for us. Plus, he's a switch hitter. He's got pop, and I think
Which is
that
awesome.
fills, like, you could put him in at the 4 or 5 hole, and that it fills a lot of holes.
I agree.
Next, trade for Joe Adell. If you do not trade for Adley Rutschman, you put in Alec Boehm into this trade. But if you are going after Adley Rutschman, I would give up Gene Cabrera, Dylan Campbell, Carson DiMartini, because I know they will need outfield help, and Dylan Campbell. And he had a really good Arizona Fall League season. I think he hit around 300 with 3 or 4 home runs, drove in a decent amount of runs. Carson DiMartini, young third baseman, probably will be traded. Don't really know where, because there's going to be no need for him with Aiden Miller coming up.
I agree.
Plus, it's like Joe Adell fills that hole of you can play center field, power hitter, slug the absolute piss out of a ball. Like, I love that. I'll sign Michael King for a 2-year, $25 to $30 million deal.
Dog.
Because like he is a dude where it's like he is electric, can be lights out, or he might get hit around a little bit. It's like we need right-handed help because we have Sanchez, we have Luzardo, who are, I think, 2 of some of the best lefty pitchers in the game. We'll have Wheeler coming back. We have Nola, and then we have hopefully Andrew Panner starting the year on the roster.
He better be.
Calling for a bit, just double checking that he is a righty. Yep, he's righty, so he fills that hole. And then for bullpen,
as you slip out of frame, yeah.
Fucking Jared, dude. Michael Kopech.
I like it.
I wanted the Phillies to trade for him.
Yeah.
At the deadline last year, I thought like going to like a real contender, he would be great. So Michael Kopech, 1 year, $10 million deal. Oh my God. And then I like this one a lot.
Okay.
Trade prospects for Jojo Romero.
Bring back the Red Bull guy? Like why not, right? Like,
dude, he had a great year last year.
He did, and he has electric stuff. But keep going.
And it's like that the Jojo Romero trade and the Mendoza trade was a win-win for both sides. So we got a utility guy who could play shortstop and second base. I think when we traded for him, he was playing second base for us because Segura was hurt. And Romero's been solid for them. So that is the last of my want list. I would love to hear yours.
Okay.
I think I already, from what you told me, I think I already do love it.
Yes. First of all, I like your list, and I like how crazy it is, and it actually gave me ideas that I did not share with you off camera that I have, because as we said before, this is the want list. This is something that is kind of like fantasy based. We don't really think this is gonna happen, but if it did, it would be cool. But yeah, I actually love your list. I actually agree that I think bringing in someone like Adley would be cool. I didn't really think of Agustin Martin or Ramirez. I think he'd be cool. Really solid young player out of Miami, and I feel like Miami recently has had a lot of good solid young guys. So I feel like that would be a lot of fun. And as we kept talking about last time, but with Joe Adell, dog, straight up dog. And someone that I didn't even really think of, and I saw that other people talk to him recently, but Michael King I think would be really cool. Michael King is one of the most underrated pitchers in all of baseball because I think he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. When he is on, to all the viewers that haven't seen him, he like throws with like his back to you almost. And seeing that as a right-handed hitter is one of the single hardest things to hit because his arm angle is like all the way out here. It's like all the way in the other, or in your own, what's it called? In your own batter's box. So, and then all of a sudden he'll throw a sinker that'll cut through the batter's box and then end bottom right, like near your knees, and then it'll buckle you. He is. Would you agree? Michael King is nasty. Like, or at least when he's on. And also something that I was thinking when you were saying too, Michael King gives you the opportunity to be kind of like a Ranger Suarez type of guy, in that he could both start, or if you're like, okay, like what if like a right-handed reliever goes down, right? Or like, and you're going up to the playoffs, and you're like, well, we have Michael King, and Michael King can give you 2 solid innings as a right-handed reliever in the playoffs. So I feel like if you just stick him there, he'd be really good.
Whoever gets him, I think, is getting a huge steal. Because I think he's going to be one of the best pitchers to come out of this free agency.
Yeah, And I also don't think he's going to cost a whole lot because wasn't he hurt for a majority of the year last year
He
or the
was.
end?
I think he was hurt, or he had a little bit of a down year.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. And like, yeah, I just think that there's a lot of upside to Michael K. But I will
Hmm.
start with my list. My list is kind of similar to Caleb's, but at the same time, we do have some differences. And again, I'm gonna. Caleb hasn't heard like two of these, so number one,
I'm
I
excited.
think I think we let Kyle Schwarber walk. Um, not saying that I really want that, but I can't do 5 years, me personally. If you think about the trajectory of the Phillies, if we do sign Kyle Schwarber is currently 32. If you give him a 5-year deal, he's 37. And I don't know the exact ages of these two other guys, but Bryce Harper is what, 31? 31, Caleb? 32? 33?
32. 32.
32. He's probably going to go until he's like 40, 41 on the Phillies contract wise. Trey Turner,
Hmm.
the exact same thing. Probably goes till he's like 39, 38. Not a great track, if you ask me, and gives me like nightmares of the 2012 Phillies, where it was literally just skeletons out there of old Chase Utley, old Jimmy Rollins, old Cliff Lee, or I should really say post Achilles Ryan Howard. It gives me the same vibes as that. Um, and I feel like Dave slash John, actually mostly John, I think John's gonna try to avoid doing that again because then Caleb and I know. Listen, to all the viewers, Caleb and I are 22, or I'm 22, he's 21. We grew up in the shittiest time of baseball through our conscious minds. Like, we don't really remember 2008. Would you agree? I was
No.
alive. We were 5. We weren't really conscious yet. I kind of remember the end of '09, and I remember 10. Would you agree?
I remember 10 for sure, but like
Yes.
08,
I
I don't. I have no recollection.
I
I don't
don't
know.
really
I don't.
remember, which is
I don't know
which
what the
is
hell happened.
why which is why the two of us are very risk adverse when doing a lot of these because we don't want to see what happened from 2012 to 2021. We don't want to see that. There were fun moments, sure, but the two of us had to grow up with Mike Franco as our third baseman and Cesar Hernandez as our second
Dude, that was
baseman.
first Phillies jersey, Michael Franco.
Me too. And but like if like us saying that to anyone else, they'd be like, "What the hell is that?" Like, I mean, I have like Chase Utley jerseys, but I didn't buy those. I bought a Mike Franco jersey with my own money.
Hmm.
But so with that being said, I think I'm gonna pass on Kyle Schwarber if it's 5. And with that being said,
Another thing too,
please,
can I add
please,
to Schwarber?
yes,
Um, a lot of speculation right now is that Schwarber will be one of the last free agents to sign because he's going to probably go for the biggest deal with the most years. If that is the case, and he is screwing up the Phillies from doing what they really need to do and really need to fix, dump him. Screw him. Let
I
him do whatever he wants. Don't wait for Kyle Schwarber to dictate what moves you're going to make.
and I totally agree with that, which kind of goes with everything that I just said. That don't let a 32-year-old dictate your decisions. I totally agree. And then just hope and pray that he doesn't go to the Mets. He can even go to the Red Sox. Would it be great? No, but like other side, like I don't really care.
I
You know what I
think
mean?
I think he goes to, if it's not Philly, I think he goes to Chicago,
Or Chicago. Ooh,
Cincinnati, or Boston.
Chicago would be interesting. Huh. A homecoming, one could say.
In a way, yeah. In a
That
way.
would be interesting. I never really thought about the Cubs because the guy that I'm about to say, played for the Cubs, and I think they're gonna let him go. I have Kyle Tucker coming to Philly, for 6 years, 180 million. But at the same time, it could reach upward. I say 180, but I feel like I'm gonna say a range of 180 to 300 million. Um, and yeah,
Wait for Tucker?
for Tucker, and Tucker
One
is
one 180 for Tucker?
I'm like going back and forth, like probably not, but like he's also 29, so I don't really know how much money Kyle Tucker is going to get. I'm gonna be totally real with you. I don't know what the market is for him because if you talk to anybody, really last season, right? Kyle Tucker is getting $400 million. Would you agree? Kyle Tucker is easily getting
Oh,
a
he's probably getting like,
massive,
yeah, 400, 500 plus around there.
right? And now he's definitely going to get less than that. I think it's going to be. I take back my 180. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking more 300. I would take 300 million for Kyle Tucker for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win. And I feel like his market's going to dip a little bit, but I feel like if you increase his years a little bit as well, then that's okay. And I would rather do that with a 29-year-old than a 32-year-old, which is kind of what the two of us kind of alluded to as well.
Yep.
And Kyle Tucker in a small stadium like Citizens Bank Park is just asking for 30-plus home runs, in my opinion. Is just
Yeah, but I think his swing fits perfectly with the right field wall we got there.
Yes.
He can steal bags when he's healthy. Solid
Yes.
defender.
Just good.
The thing too is that, like, if you sign Tucker, that allows for Crawford to play in center.
Yep.
And Marsh, if he's still with the team, to play in left, which I think is his best position. When he plays in left field, like, his numbers are a lot better. So Tucker does make a lot of sense. Only downside is that our outfield would be all lefties, but
That's true.
also probably one of the better defensive outfields, which we have not had in a while because we've been tied down to Nick Castellanos and Marsh in center, who, for whatever reason, struggles to get balls there.
And Max Kepler, who kind of stunk too. But yes, Kyle Tucker is my idea. I want Adley Rutschman. And I think we're going to give a Bohm anywhere between a 20th to a 10th prospect, along with Gene Cabrera. And I feel like if I'm Dave, I'd be like, who do you want between 20 and 10? And then they'll pick them, and I'll be like, okay. Adley Rutschman. And maybe it'll cost more, maybe it'll cost less. Who knows? We'll see. But I want Adley Rutschman for a few reasons. Number one, you really don't have to pay him immediately.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I think he's 26, 27-ish.
Yeah, 26.
Okay, so for some reason, I thought he would be done arbitration like in next year or the year after. I don't know why I thought that, and then I looked it up. He's done arbitration, and he's going through arbitration all the way until 2028, which gives you a lot of flexibility because then he's still playing through his arbitration contract through 2028, which allows you to re-sign a bunch of people, and then you just re-sign him down the road. And I feel like that gives you a lot of flexibility. Plus, Adley Rutschman, in my opinion, fits that JT Real Muto in Miami type of vibe. Good, solid, on the younger side of well, barely on the bad side of 25. And I feel like there's still a lot of upside to Adley Rutschman, and the Orioles have Sam Basayo, which makes me think that they're going to try to get rid of Adley Rutschman because Basayo is younger and was better last year. And I think Caleb kind of already hit on this, but I think the fact that he is a switch hitter opens everything up for just about anything that Rob Thompson wants to do for his lineup. We know Rob Thompson goes back and forth between doing the lefty-righty type of thing to just trying to protect people. I feel like Adley would be a really good protection for Bryce Harper at the 4. Less of a slap hitter as compared to Adley Bohm. And Adley is also a great is a better defensive catcher than what most people think. And I feel like he wasn't all that great last year because I feel like he kind of feels that his time in Baltimore is coming to a close. So that's who I want at catcher. But again, if we can't re-sign him, it's not like that I don't want JT. I would actually be super open to what I said, what I think they're going to do with the JT 2 years, $22 million. Again, great leader in JT, great dude. Everybody loves him. All the intangibles that you kind of want. Another guy that I would like is Andy Ibanez. Andy Ibanez, if you look into it, just declined his qualifying option, which was surprising. But if you look at it closer, it was because he was going to get paid around $1.8 million. And for a dude like Andy Ibanez, who has honestly come through in a few playoff spots, most notably 2 years ago against the Astros, that is embarrassing. So I think we give Andy Ibanez 2 years, $13 million, and we stick him at third base until Eden Miller is ready. And then we can kind of just throw him wherever. I know Andy Ibanez also plays first base a little bit, so you could also give Bryce Harper a day off. And I feel like that's some good flexibility as well. And I feel like he kind of fits the vibe of our team. I feel like he can also almost be like a Gene Segura type of player. A lot of energy, a lot of fire, and can get hot pretty quickly. And then this next guy, I'm going to really try to say his name right. If I don't clip me.
You got it.
Tatsuyama Tatsuya Imai. If you guys aren't familiar, this is the guy that went on record when asked, would you join the Dodgers to be with Shohei Ohtani? He said no. He wants to be. I want that type of fire is something that I feel like us people that live in the Philadelphia area just need in our life. It's something that this
that's
team.
Philly attitude.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what this team sometimes doesn't have. And I feel like having a solid pitcher like him would be great. He starts. I also saw that he could come in relief situations as well. He's a right-handed hitter and has really good numbers in overseas. So that's honestly somebody who I would be very interested in. Another person who I thought of while Kayla was talking was a possible Nolan Arenado. May I throw a little Nolan Arenado at you, Kayla? Because I feel like it would be interesting. Because why not? Because assuming we don't have what's his name? Kyle Schwarber, we're in need of a DH. And Aiden Miller, I believe, has played first base as well. And so has Nolan Arenado. But at the same time, I just want Nolan Arenado for the vibes. Bring him for the vibes, kid. Don't look at me like that. It's Nolan Arenado. You wanted him last year.
Yeah, and then he went on to have the worst season of his career, dude. Since 2022, he has been ass.
But
I wanted him last year because I'm sitting there playing the show, drinking Miller Lite. That's why I wanted him.
Hey.
Not for real.
But he wouldn't cost a lot, which is exactly what you're talking about. And you're talking a Gold Glove, Platinum Glove, almost Hall of Famer third baseman type of and
Alex Bregman.
I like Arenado a little more than Bregman. Me personally. Why? Because we're not paying Alex Bregman Nolan Arenado a shit ton of money. And Alex Bregman, I feel like last year was good, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to be the player that you think he is. And Arenado is going to cost less than Alex Bregman.
Dude, he's 34. He's going to be 35 by the time the season starts.
But he's good at baseball. So I'm just throwing ideas. Hey, listen, these are just ideas. I don't want to hear it. These are just ideas. I feel like Nolan Arenado could really help. I think he'd be better with a change of scenery as well. I think you throw him in somewhere like here. I feel like again his fire matches the fire of the fans. I feel like he'd be pretty good, and we would kind of use him similar to how you want Alex Bregman to be used.
Maybe.
That's my thought. That's kind of a troll, but at the same time, like what if? Like what if? I don't know. Let's get fun.
Let's get crazy. Like giving up
Rojas.
Dude,
what if it's like Rojas and the 30th?
Dude, they're not going to do that.
Rojas the 30th and the 32nd. Rojas the 30th and the 25th.
You know what? They need pitching. Let's get
that is true.
Walker.
Hey, for free? Give him
just lost Tony Gray.
Just that's what I'm saying, and that's also something I was thinking. Like the Cardinals are definitely selling, so they're going to be.
They came out and said that everyone's on the trade block.
Yes, but now in all seriousness, because I only have one on Nolan Arenado, but I would not mind trading for Brandon Donovan, who's same team. Apparently, we were in on him during the trade deadline, and just didn't get it done. I feel like if we traded Alec Bohm for him, that would be a pretty fun mix. I feel like we could also get some more, and we could add something to that trade. I just thought of that. But I feel I was honestly trolling with Arenado, but with Brandon Donovan, I feel like he would be good at baseball, and he's pretty fast, and he's on the good side of 30, and it's I don't know, good vibes.
He would be good. My only thing is then, what righties are we going to have in the lineup?
That's the issue. And none is the answer. None, unless you have a dude. We kind of did we talk about this today? I don't know, but we also have Otto Kemp in there, who I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed by Otto Kemp when he came up. Played way better than I thought he would. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. I thought,
like you can young. If you watching him throughout the season, you can tell when he adjusted and when he got comfortable at the major league level, because he started just not hitting home runs more, but driving the ball.
Yes, more power, and that's again, like you just said, it's really not like the home run power, but like more like just gap to gap type of power. So and Otto Kemp can play, and we all know Otto Kemp can play anywhere. So I mean, You also have platoons in there, and I feel like that would be pretty cool. So Otto Kemp and Mundo Sosa would be your platoons, along with Andy Ibanez if you sign him. So those are your kind of three righties, and you kind of mix and match. But at the same time, that also gives Rob, who I'm actually pro Rob Thompson this year, I think, but also gives Rob Thompson a lot of opportunity to suck. And every single platoon mistake will be highlighted in like bold. Would you agree if this did happen? And plus, I don't know where you would put Bryson Stott in this idea as well, but who knows? Because I'm actually again I'm pro Bryson Stott, because I think he's a really solid 9 hitter. I feel like he could do really well in that spot. But yeah, so that's my ideas. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Mine is Nolan Arenado. I kind of just said Arenado because I know you hate him, but please, that shit broke on you, huh?
My lamp just died.
What's dead?
The bulb.
That's sad. Okay.
It was like the middle of the night the other night. It just went out. I thought there was a ghost in my room. Arenado, dude.
I was kidding. Take him out. Take him out.
I'm not a hater. Okay. Take him out. I love it. I would love to get Kyle Tucker. I would love Andy Ibanez for a year.
Yes.
Even like some of the pitchers that you mentioned, like if we got Tatsuya and Mai, woo, we could trade Painter.
Pretty much, right.
Dude, we could trade Painter and probably get who if we packaged like Andrew Painter with Alec Boehm and Matt Strom, we could probably get just about whoever we wanted.
Sure, I agree. Yeah. Oh, actually, I would like to add somebody to my want. I don't think this will actually happen, but what I want, it makes me sad that he's going to go because we haven't even mentioned his name yet. I want them to re-sign Ranger Suarez, but that is just not going to happen. I think Ranger Suarez, I like Ranger Suarez so much because of the versatility he has, and similar to what we were talking about with Michael King. And I just think he's been here his entire career, but I sadly don't think that's going to happen. But would you agree? Like, would you like him back? Like, I would like him back.
I would love to have him back.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to happen? No, because Scott Boras is his agent. He will probably get 4 or 5 year deal that is a lot more than what we would give him.
Totally.
It's going to suck, but I wish him luck wherever he ends up.
Me too.
Do you know where I think he might? Do you know where I think he might end up?
Go ahead.
It kind of makes sense. Arizona.
Yeah, I was thinking like Toronto.
I guess he can go to Toronto too. I think wherever he goes, I think the ballpark has to be on the bigger side.
Yeah,
and I think I think the infield has to be solid enough because like he is more of a ground ball pitcher.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, I think any of those places would be great for him.
I just wanted to mention that. I honestly just wanted to mention that though because I do want him back because this is my want list and I want Ranger Suarez back, but that's just not going.
It does not seem realistic.
It doesn't, but that's why they're want lists, Caleb. That's why we have want.
It's a wish list. It's a wish list.
It's a wish
fantasy list.
That's literally what this is. Okay, let's just talk about the general landscape. What are some big contracts you're thinking that are going to go down, and who's the biggest one?
Kyle Tucker's going to be the biggest one.
I think so.
It'll be Kyle Tucker, Kyle Schwarber, Tatsuya Imai, whoever the third baseman is.
Yep.
And Framber, Valdez, or Dylan Cease. I think those guys will have the biggest contracts.
I agree. I will say I don't want the Mets to get anybody. I think their trade last night is stupid. Would you agree? Trading away Nimmo?
I mean, at first, it's like I looked at it as Marcus Semien. It's Marcus Semien.
Yes.
A couple years ago, he was great.
He was.
Since they won the World Series, he has not been the same player.
I totally.
I do think that they shot themselves in the foot a little bit with that trade. I think a large part of it was trying to get rid of Brandon Nimmo's contract and free up some space for money. Because I do think that with Soto, Alonso, Lindor, like I think they are in financial trouble. in that
Yeah,
trade was kind of signaling that they needed to free up some space so that they could spend a little bit more money. I
would
don't
agree.
know what moves they're going to make because there are some
Yeah,
people who speculate that they will go after Kyle Tucker, and if they have to give up draft picks or whatever, like they will just suck it up. I really hope that does not happen.
yeah.
There's like the Dodgers, they find ways to get around it and it works. The funny thing with the Mets is that I could see them signing Kyle Tucker and then still sucking.
I can too. It's the Mets, and like such a funny, and I know that's just like very like, oh, they're just the Mets, but like it's really just the Mets. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like on paper, even this team should have been pretty good. Like, and they just didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
And the
and
fact that
like
a Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor team didn't make the playoffs, and like, that's embarrassing. And I
something
love it.
that concerns me with Tucker too, and I've talked to people about this. His injury history.
Totally.
He gets hurt a lot.
Yeah,
So it's like as much as I would love Philly to go after him, if he goes somewhere else, like I'm perfectly fine with that.
I feel the exact same way, and I feel like in such a weird way. Like it's not like he'll get hurt and then he'll get fully healthy. Ooh,
It's
um,
back on. It's working. Let's see how long it
beautiful.
lasts. Now
I
let's
know.
fix my chair.
What was I gonna say? Oh, Kyle Tucker. I feel like when he goes somewhere and he'll get hurt, and then I feel like he'll never come back that season fully healthy because
Mm-hmm.
you saw what was hurt on the Cubs? Was it his thumb? It was something weird on the Cubs where he got
His,
something
his
banged up.
his
Then he
wrist.
was it his wrist. It was something in his hand. Whatever it was, I think he came back and he was still hurt and he was playing hurt, and then he eventually ended the season what at 250, 260 average
Yeah,
wise.
like he still had a solid season coming
Exactly,
back
but
from injury.
nothing like what it was pre-injury. Though he was hitting like 310, like he was mashing pre-injury. But
Mm-hmm.
and then he also did the very similar things on like the Astros. Like he would come back and then he just wouldn't be the same player at all. Um, but I will say though, if Kyle Tucker goes to the Mets, I will hate him, and that's okay. And I feel like you will too. Ever since his 2 home run game against us in the World Series where he did a little spin and then they ended up losing, I don't think I can forget that. And then he'll on top of the be a Met. Ooh, fine. That's all I got. Fine.
Where, all right, where honestly, where do you think he ends up?
Where? I have no idea. I can't even. All I gotta say is better not be the effing Dodgers. Anybody but
I
Dodgers,
think I
honestly.
think he I think he goes to the Dodgers.
I hate you. You're right. That's the issue.
I think he's gonna go because like they need outfield help.
Can I just say no? Can I just say no? I can. Can the Dodgers just not exist? If he goes to the Dodgers, they're going to win. They. I mean, if it's not already true, they're going to be the reason for the lockout, and they're going to screw everybody. So I don't. I also don't know where they keep getting this money from, but that's okay. Yeah, because you're right. They do need outfield help, and yeah, the Dodgers are frustrating, but whatever. Where do you think
Um,
Schwarber actually ends up? I think I have an idea, but
I still think he ends up in Philly.
yeah,
Like
sure,
I don't see him going anywhere else. Maybe because I think Toronto will need a DH. I don't think
yeah.
Santander will be
I feel the same.
back there. So I think maybe if it's not Philly, I think it's going to be Toronto or Boston.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be like either here because I know we just talked about it for I don't even know how long, but I really do think we're going to overpay. Gosh, I just have a bad feeling, which is
Yeah.
like fine, and he's going to be great for next year and the year after if he stays healthy again, which he has for a majority of his time here. But yeah, I have just a bad feeling we're gonna sign him for 5 or 6 years for like 200, and I'm just gonna be like, that's gonna totally screw up. But if it's not here, I actually liked your Cubs idea, or the Reds. I think he goes out there. I mean, the Reds don't really spend money though, which is why I'm like maybe
No,
not.
they don't. I still think that they're like still two great off seasons away from being a competitive team.
I
Like
agree.
yes, they made the playoffs, but that's because it's like the Mets just could not win. It's like the NL was just not as competitive this year, and then they got embarrassed by the Dodgers.
Oh, 100%. I think what you're trying to say is it's not like that the NL wasn't as competitive. It was just very top heavy. Like you had
Yeah.
us, you had the Dodgers, obviously. You had the Brewers, who were somehow good. I think they just picked on their shitty division. But it was just very top heavy, just in general. Um, and that's just how it was versus the AL, which somehow the Toronto, like I don't know who would pick the Toronto Blue Jays in last September to make that World Series.
No one.
Not many, not many. But at the same time, we didn't really. I remember doing our predictions. Right, we didn't really even know who to pick. Like because everybody was so even, and I was just like I guess Seattle could do something, and I was like, I guess Toronto. I mean, the Yankees probably. But like it was so wide open compared to like the NL, where you were like, okay, the Dodgers have to play in the wild card, but they're still probably going to make the World Series. It's just totally different. It's like a different dynamic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think we're going to overpay for Kyle. Which is just sad. Anybody but the Mets for Kyle. I think you would agree. Anybody with the Mets, he could even go to the other New York team. I mean, it would suck for him to go to the Yankees, but at least he's not in our division or in our league at all. Like that's fine, and he would break every single home run record. Would you agree? Every
Mm-hmm.
single record would be shattered.
He would. Yeah, he would crush Judge's home run record.
Dude, imagine. I just thought of it. Imagine going one like lineup wise, one Schwarber, two Judge. What? That's
The two
nasty
most powerful dudes in the league.
in the whole league. That would be nasty.
I can't see
I just
Schwarber.
thought of that.
I can't see Schwarber going to the Mets. I can't see him going to the Yankees. Even
I
the
can't.
Braves. Like I can't see him going anywhere.
I would agree. Yeah, that's gonna be absolutely something. All right. Do you have anything else to talk about? I'm trying to think of other ideas. I don't have anything. I think we covered a lot.
Hunter
Right.
Goodman. I know.
Yes.
We both had him on our list of catchers we could potentially trade for. Yet neither one of us mentioned
Yeah.
him.
I don't know why we didn't. Yeah, because he would be great. He's a younger guy. I don't really know how much we would give up. It sounds like an Alec Bohm trade to me. I don't know about you.
I think
Um,
that could be an Alec Bohm trade.
right, and I would be content with that because he definitely costs less than JT.
Yeah, because it's like
At least for now.
as a defensive catcher, he's like middle of
So
the pack.
yes,
Offensively, he had a great year.
yes,
A lot of people do think it is a fluke year. I don't know if it's
could
like
be.
he got lucky, if it's like a Coors Field effect.
Yeah,
Um, I wouldn't mind that because again, just like Joe Adele, that is a righty catcher who, unlike
yes,
JT, is probably more offensive than defensive. If anything, with meanwhile, like when we brought in JT, we were bringing him in because like his bat was good, but his defense was
totally.
great.
Yes. I'm trying to look up how old is Hunter
26.
Goodman age. 26. Okay. Yeah, like I would totally bring him. And again, a good Alec Bohm trade would work. And I mean, I could see how last year was a fluke, because it's Coors Field, and we know things about Coors Field. But yeah, so Hunter Goodman would definitely be on my radar as well. Um, yeah, I thought we had a bunch of good points though. Like I didn't, I mean, I know what you mentioned. I did not even think of Augustin Ramirez. Great idea. He would be great for us.
He he
Adley
was
would
the
be fun.
worst. He was the worst defensive catcher this year.
Who cares? He hits bombs. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Obviously, we're not afraid to do that. We just had Nick Castellanos. Everything's fine.
True.
Although I do remember that. I feel like every Marlins series we had like 3 stolen bases a game. Do you remember that?
So, like
It
his
was like
his arm is not great.
terrible. But he's also young, so I guess that could be a learning thing.
Would you do like Patrick Bailey?
I would think about it. Another switch hitting catcher. I do think yeah, maybe because I was just gonna say maybe it was a little fluky with Patrick Bailey, but at the same time he is hitting in the hardest stadium to hit in all of baseball. So
Yeah.
that's also a thing. So the fact that he did have a little bit of success hitting wise, I think it's a good thing. But defensively, it's fine.
Someone did say he changed his hitting approach at the end of the season, like the
Yes,
last 30 games, and I think hit around 300.
I
I
know
would
what you mean.
not hate trading for Patrick Bailey.
Neither. I don't know
Defensively,
if
he'll probably be Bohm plus.
yeah,
Well, who's the first baseman? I know they have Chapman. I know they
yeah.
have.
I just don't know. Not to cut you. I don't know if the Giants would do that though, because that is like their young premier catcher. So I don't
But he's
really.
already kind of getting written off and as like
I
somewhat of
know.
a bust because like they had Joey,
I know.
who
Yes.
was going to be like next up to Buster Posey, who was a bust. And brought up
Bust.
Patrick Bailey, who offensively just has not figured it out. I don't
Yeah.
know if I don't know. Maybe they go after JT, like with how
Yeah.
big that park is and how JT's swing is like gap to gap now. I can see him having a lot
Yes.
of extra base hits there because he can still kind of
Totally.
fly.
I totally agree. And I just looked it up. Patrick Bailey's 26, which is a little younger than I thought, which is good. But
Mm-hmm.
it's basically kind of what we're talking about is like the decision. Like, would you rather Hunter Goodwin or would you rather Patrick Bailey? I think I'd rather Patrick Bailey for the switch hitting aspects and the fact that he has isn't he a ridiculous defensive catcher as well? He has a gun back there, I think,
Bailey,
right? Yeah.
the best, the
Okay,
best
that's what
behind
I thought.
JT, the best behind
Okay,
JT.
so that's what I thought. So bringing a guy into here like that, and the fact that he was hitting pretty well in a pretty rough stadium to hit it, I think says a lot. But okay,
Yeah,
let's end it here. We've done an entire hour and 2 minutes,
this
which
is
is
fun.
nuts.
I
This is
love
crazy.
this.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. Probably gonna take a solid 2 week break, another 2 week break, because next week and the week after are my finals. So I'm gonna take a break there. But once I'm back in winter break, we should be back pretty
more
consistently.
pods, more pods.
More
Hopefully,
pods,
some moves by the Phillies. We'll know if
hopefully.
JT will be back or not.
Hopefully. Yeah. I,
Helm's
I hope.
future maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Cassidy's gone.
Fingers crossed also that we could talk positively about the Eagles maybe, and then we could do like a weekly thing with them when I'm on break. Hopefully that could be a thing, or the Sixers could be okay, and they've been okay. So, but once winter break rolls around, we'll get more consistent with everything. But this should be up, hopefully before anything happens. I'm gonna post this within now or even tomorrow. So whenever you guys see this, thank you for watching. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today. Thanks for being there on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. I'm going to try to get more consistent again when I have more time. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Go Birds, I guess. And hopefully the next time we talk to you, JT Realmuto is a Philly. Hopefully. Or we do something. Do anything, right? Or
Or
a
something.
rumor, Caleb, would be nice. A rumor would be nice.
Well, there's the rumor of Cattell Marte right now, which I don't
Who knows how real?
want.
Not at all. Okay. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace.